1996, in the most secret room of Buckingham Palace. When Queen Elizabeth closed the file in her hands and placed it on the table, not even the single person in that room knew these documents were Princess Diana's death warrant. The decision made that night was to destroy a mother to save 900 years of royal tradition. But the most shocking part was who prepared this plan. This name will completely blow your mind because this person was Diana's closest friend. November 15th, 1996, Thursday night, Buckingham Palace, secret meeting room, 11:45 p.m. Queen Elizabeth II had never looked more determined despite being 70 years old. Across from her sat a secret council made up of Britain's most powerful figures. MI6, Director Sir David Spedding, Prime Minister John Major's special representative, Buckingham Palace Private Secretary Sir Robert Fellows, and most shocking of all, Sarah Ferguson, Diana's former sister-in-law. In the center of the table lay a thick file marked Operation Windsor. "Gentlemen," said the Queen, with a coldness in her voice they'd never heard before. "Diana Spencer is now threatening the very existence of the royal family. The situation has spiraled out of control since the Panorama interview." Sir David Spedding opened the file. Inside was every detail of Diana's movements over the past 6 months, every phone call, every meeting. "Your Majesty," said Spedding, "Diana's public support has reached 87% since the BBC interview. This is unprecedented rebellion in the history of the royal family." But there was something they didn't know yet. Diana was aware of this plan's existence and was preparing her countermove. Same night, 11:50 p.m., Kensington Palace. After putting her sons, William and Harry, to bed, Diana sat alone in her private study. In her hand was an encrypted message that had arrived from Sarah Ferguson that day. "D, be very careful. They are determined to stop you. Tomorrow, 2 p.m., Hyde Park, our old spot. -S." Diana's heart raced. Sarah was her closest friend, but she was also part of the royal family. Was this message to help her or to trap her? The phone rang. It was Charles. "Diana, we need to talk." "Charles, it's midnight. The children are sleeping." "This is very important. Come to Windsor Castle tomorrow morning." Diana's stomach churned. Windsor Castle was where the royal family held their most formal meetings. This wasn't an ordinary conversation. This is where everything changed, because the Queen's plan wasn't just to silence Diana, but to completely destroy her. November 16th, 1996, Friday morning, Windsor Castle, 10 a.m. As Diana walked through the cold corridors of Windsor Castle, the echo of her footsteps sounded like death bells. She'd been walking these corridors for 15 years, but had never felt this alone. When she reached the Queen's private office, there was a strange expression on the butler's face who opened the door, as if he was looking at her for the last time. "Princess Diana, Her Majesty is expecting you." When Diana entered, she froze. The room was empty. Only a file and a letter lay on the desk. When she opened the letter, she read these words in the Queen's cold handwriting. "Diana, the future of the royal family depends on your silence. The plan you'll see in this file has been prepared for you. If the interviews and statements continue, the consequences will be severe. You have two choices. Either you'll remain completely silent, or you'll face the consequences. Elizabeth R. Double quote. When Diana opened the file, what she saw shocked her. Inside were 3 different scenarios. Scenario 1, Diana being declared mentally ill and forced treatment. Scenario 2, custody of her children being taken away. Scenario 3, accident plans. You haven't seen the biggest surprise yet, because that file contains signatures from Diana's own friends. Windsor Castle, same moment, the Queen's observation room. Queen Elizabeth was watching Diana through hidden cameras. Sir Robert Fellows and the MI6 director stood beside her. "Look at Diana's reaction," said the Queen. "She seems surprised, but actually came prepared." Sir Robert added, "Your Majesty, we know Diana has been meeting secretly with lawyers for the past 2 weeks. She's preparing a counterplan." "What kind of counterplan?" "She's planning to collect the royal family's secret documents and leak them to international press. She has very compromising information about us." The Queen's face went white. What kind of information? Details of Charles's relationship with Camilla, Andrew's Jeffrey Epstein connections, and your relationship before marrying Philip. The Queen was shocked. How had this last piece of information reached Diana? Sarah Ferguson, she whispered. She's feeding Diana information from inside. Same moment, Diana's room. Diana continued reading the file. In the third scenario, details of the car accident plan in Paris were written. A driver named Henri Paul, paparazzi chase, Alma Tunnel. Most shocking were the signatures approving the plan. Charles Spencer, Diana's brother, Sarah Ferguson, Diana's friend, Mohammed Al-Fayed, Dodi's father. Diana's hands began to tremble. The people she trusted most had betrayed her. Wait a minute, don't miss this detail. Diana realized at that moment that the plan had already begun. Hyde Park, 2 p.m. Diana came to their old bench in Hyde Park to meet Sarah Ferguson. Sarah was already there, but she wasn't alone. Two men in black suits stood in the distance. "Sarah," said Diana, "tell me the truth. Are you part of their plan?" Sarah's eyes filled with tears. "Diana, I had no choice. They threatened my children." "What children? Beatrice and Eugenie?" "Yes, if I didn't help them against you, they would have gotten involved too." Diana understood. The royal family hadn't just targeted her, but the entire family. "So, what do we do now?" Sarah pulled a small device from her bag. "This is a secret recording device. I've recorded all their plans. But, Diana, you must be very careful. The plan is much bigger." "What do you mean?" "The accident plan in Paris is just Plan B. The real plan is to make you look crazy and lock you up in a mental hospital. The doctor there is also their man." Diana's blood ran cold. "Dr. Hasnat Khan?" "Yes. While he's treating you, he'll actually kill you, making it look like a heart attack. What you've seen so far is nothing." Because that night, Diana launched her counterattack. That night, 10:30 p.m., Diana's secret meeting. Diana met with investigative journalist Andrew Morton in one of London's most secret locations. She had the recordings from Sarah and the Queen's secret file with her. "Andrew," said Diana, "I have information that will destroy the royal family. But before I do this, we need to guarantee my children's safety." Morton examined the files. "Diana, these are incredible, but very dangerous. If we publish this information, not just you, but I'll also become a target." "Then what do we do?" "We'll do this in stages. First small leaks, then the big explosion." Diana nodded. "Okay, but there's one condition. If anything happens to me, everything will be published automatically." Morton smiled. "I've already set up such a system. I called it the Diana Files." 11:45 p.m., Buckingham Palace, emergency meeting. Queen Elizabeth had called an emergency meeting. Diana's move was much faster than anticipated. "Your Majesty," said Sir David Spedding, "Diana met with Andrew Morton tonight. According to our information, she gave him the secret files. How much time do we have?" 48 hours maximum. Morton works very fast." The Queen stood up. "Then we must accelerate the plan. Move up the Paris operation." "But, Your Majesty, everything isn't ready yet." "Ready or not, Diana must be silenced. You won't believe this, but the Queen personally gave the order for Diana's death that night. November the 17th, 1996, Saturday. Final 24 hours. When Diana woke up that morning, she was in a strange peace. While having breakfast with William and Harry, she looked at them with such love that the children became worried. "Mum, are you all right?" William asked. "I'm very well, darling. I just love you both so much." Harry added, "Mum, are you going somewhere?" Diana hugged her children. "No, sweetheart, I'm not going anywhere. But if one day I'm not with you, always remember me with love." The children didn't understand these words, but the look in Diana's eyes made them uncomfortable. Same day afternoon, final move. Diana made her last phone call to Morton. "Andrew, are the files ready?" "Yes, Diana. Tomorrow morning all world press will report the story simultaneously." "Very good. I'm going to Paris tonight." Morton was shocked. "Paris? Why?" "They're not expecting me. I'll play my final card there." "Diana, it's very dangerous. You know their plans for Paris. I know, but I won't run anymore. It's time to end this war. The final shock is coming. Because while Diana was going to Paris, she didn't know the Queen's final order that night, 9 p.m., Buckingham Palace. The Queen's final order. Queen Elizabeth called Paris on her private phone. This is Elizabeth. Diana Spencer is coming to Paris today. Begin the operation now. Voice on the phone. Understood, Your Majesty. Henri Paul is ready. Route is determined. Everything is under control at Alma Tunnel. Leave no trace. This must be an accident. Of course, Your Majesty. By morning, the whole world will know Diana is dead. When the Queen hung up, Philip, standing beside her, said, Elizabeth, are you sure this is right? Philip, the royal family has stood for 900 years. It won't be destroyed because of one woman. Same moment, plane to Paris. Diana sat next to Dodi on the private jet, but her mind was on her children. Dodi, she said, if something happens to me tonight, tell William and Harry that. Diana, don't talk like that. Everything will be fine. No, Dodi. They're determined to kill me, but I'm also determined to finish them. Diana took out her phone and wrote her final message to Morton. Andrew, if you don't hear from me after this message, activate the plan immediately. Publish the Diana files. D. August 31st, 1997. After the Paris crash, 6 hours after Diana died, an emergency meeting was held at Buckingham Palace. Your Majesty, said Sir Robert, where are the files Diana gave to Morton? Morton's house was searched. Nothing was found. The Queen felt relieved. So the plan was successful. But at that moment, Sir David Spedding delivered shocking news. Your Majesty, the Diana files weren't with Morton. She had given them to someone else. To whom? Mohammed Al-Fayed. The Queen's face went completely white. Al-Fayed was Dodi's father, and the only person who accused the royal family after Diana's fatal crash. 2005, first leak of the Diana files. 8 years after Diana's death, Al-Fayed began leaking the first documents. The British press tried to dismiss these documents as conspiracy theories, but the documents were too detailed. The Queen's handwritten Operation Windsor plan, orders given for Diana's death, Sarah Ferguson's secret recordings, Charles's private conversations with Camilla, 2017, the Queen's confession. When Queen Elizabeth was 91, she said this to her closest advisor, Sir Christopher Geidt. Christopher, we made a mistake killing Diana. She became more powerful in death. The people turned her into a saint. This conversation was secretly recorded and hidden to be released after the Queen's death. 2022, Queen Elizabeth's death and final secret. When Queen Elizabeth died, a letter she had written for Diana was found in her private safe. Diana, I apologize for having you killed, but I had to protect the royal family. With William ascending to the throne, may your soul rest in peace. He is your son and will be just like you. Elizabeth. This letter was never released to the public. 2024, King William's secret investigation. When William became king, he started a secret investigation about his mother's death. The documents he obtained were shocking. His grandmother, Elizabeth's order to kill Diana. His father, Charles's approval of the plan. Sarah Ferguson's forced participation. Henri Paul being an MI6 agent, William archived these documents to remain secret for 50 years. The truth. Diana Spencer didn't just die in a traffic accident. She was a victim of the 900-year-old royal system. Queen Elizabeth II was the first British queen in history to have her son's ex-wife killed. And this secret may remain hidden forever, because some truths are more powerful than the throne. What do you think about Queen Elizabeth after reading this story? Was Diana's death really a conspiracy? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you want to learn other dark secrets of the royal family, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications.